everybody. How are we getting on tonight? State of play for June 2022 is what we're going to be checking out tonight, wherever you happen to be. That's what we're doing. So it's coming up in a couple of minutes. So what are we looking to see? So State of Play brings new game reveals, sneak peeks, and updates this Thursday, or in like 5 minutes or so. So it's been more than 2 months since the last one, which was pretty underwhelming. Some interesting stuff there, but nothing like earth-shattering. We'll have some exciting reveals from our third-party partners, plus a sneak peek at several games in development for PlayStation VR 2. So several games, not just the Horizon game. I mean, it might be more than one. How many is several? It's not 2, right? It's not 3. 3 is like a few. So 4? 4 plus is several, I guess. 1, a couple, a few, several. That's what I'm thinking. And then some exciting reveals from our third-party partners. So third-party partners for Sony. So who's in that? So Microsoft has obviously bought up a lot of them. So it's not going to see Bethesda, you're not going to see Activision and so on. So Capcom, Square Enix, Devolver Digital, the Embracer Group people, so like THQ Nordic. Possibly see some stuff from Square Enix's offloaded Western companies, like, Eidos and someone else. I can't think of them right now. Potentially, we might see something from Kojima Productions, because they're technically not a first-party company. They're technically third-party, even though they're very connected to Sony. And then there's also Konami, who might have something to say about Silent Hill. There's been a lot of rumors about it, so they may decide that this is the correct venue. What could we be seeing from Capcom if they do have something to show? Street Fighter 6 was announced a while ago, so they may have something to show off from there. Highly unlikely that we'll see Resident Evil 4 remake, but we might. I doubt it, but we might. Square Enix, Final Fantasy anniversaries and so on. We might see something from them. Will we see Final Fantasy 7 remake stuff? I don't think so. Is that? Doom Training fuck Konami, bro. Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. I don't know. I still want to see Silent Hill. At least they're not as bad as like Activision, Ubisoft, and so on. They're not like horribly sexually harassing their employees and any of that kind of stuff. They're just a shit company instead. Capcom as well. We might see Dragon's Dogma 2 even. Potentially. We also have EA, who have just announced the name for Dragon Age 4, Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Maybe they'll show some gameplay off for it. I don't know. Who else do we talk about? Devolver Digital. I don't think if they have any reveals exactly. They have a bunch of games that are coming out soon, so we might just get a quick, hey, remember our games are coming out soon kind of thing. And then obviously Embracer have bought a bunch of companies, but I don't think they'd be ready. Don't think they'd be ready to actually show off anything. We do know the next Tomb Raider is in development. Potentially they'll have something to show there. CD Projekt have announced that Witcher 3's update will be out later on this year. We might see something about that. It'd be far too early to see anything about Witcher 4 right now. There's always like a bunch of smaller, like in indie studios. We might see something about that. But I'm seeing like the several PSVR 2 announcements. It feels like it's maybe it might get more time. Like, it's not going to be a very long presentation. It's less than 30 minutes, as they said. So they're not going to fit too much in there. PSVR 2 stuff, I'm expecting a bunch of ports, basically. They'll show off the Horizon game, probably. And then maybe they'll just be like, Beat Saber is getting ported to it, and maybe Half-Life Alyx might get ported to it. Don't quite, like, we do know some of the specs for the PSVR 2, but they were not nailed down. We don't know if that's what actually made it into manufacturing. So, and also we don't know when it's coming out. Because obviously there are still parts shortages, chip shortages, and so on going on. So I would have expected end of this year, but it's probably going to be next year at some point. I still have never tried VR. I keep waiting for it to disappear. I don't want it to disappear because it is very good when they do it right and when they have some decent games for it. The real struggle with VR right now is the buy-in. Like, it's very expensive to get into, and it's very restrictive because you're going to need a PC. You're going to need to be tethered to it, pretty much. The Oculus kind of makes some inroads because that doesn't require you to be tethered, but the gameplay for it isn't great because you can only do so much with a wireless device, and also it has that Facebook taint to it. So I don't think anyone really wants to touch it. So if the PSVR 2 is a single cable thing, I think that would be a pretty big deal. The original PSVR was not. The original PSVR was a many cable thing. It was like wearing an octopus on your head, and it was not fun. And it's way too much setup, and it used a camera tracker or an object tracker system where it would need a camera, and the camera would have to look for objects in your room to track. It would track the lights on the headset, and it would track the light on your controller, which is pretty bad for accuracy. Whereas the new one just have one giant seafloor style cable. Yeah, one massive cable would probably do it. Which is, to be fair, is kind of what the Oculus and the Vive do. It's just a giant cable. I'm just always wary about attaching that to my PC, you know, because I don't want to fucking yank out a USB port or something because I swivel too hard in one direction, or fucking knock the PC over, or pull the PlayStation off the desk or something like that. You're always wary of doing something like that. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting to see. Though I have been wrong plenty of times in the past, and I have been very disappointed by states of play or state of plays. Don't know. It's like an attorney general thing. Attorneys general. Is it that? I don't know. I do think it's funny that in the date they have here for this video, it's like 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 23:59, because they couldn't write midnight because you wouldn't know what day they meant. They had to write 23:59 to make it clear it was the end of Thursday is when the video was happening, which is pretty funny. Anyway, we'll be getting kick in here in a bit. I'll swap the audio over and you can let me know if it's too loud for you. So you should be getting the desktop audio now. There is a mention of the licensed music that's probably going to be used in a lot of trailers and stuff, so I will be toggling back and forth between the music. I will be having to mute the state of play for various things. This is just the nature of live streaming and Twitch and YouTube and Content ID and all that jazz. Anyway, 10. Countdown. T minus if it actually starts. Here comes 2. That started yet. That timer was wrong. 17 plus, and then they have the intro, of course. So you have to forget that they do this as well. They should really have a little clock there to tell you. Bro, my boat got flagged for Mozart. I was like, oh, yeah, that's ridiculous. That's Creative Commons, absolutely. Or oh shit, they are gonna do a Resident Evil 4. Holy shit. Now this is a hell of a lead in. Okay. Hang on, let me turn off the CC. I absolutely was like, yeah, they might show this, but Ada. Awesome. Luis Serra.
receive our most sacred body.
Different voice actor.
It begins now.
Damn, I was not expecting them to come out with Resident Evil 4. Now, not a gameplay video, but you know, there's a lot of the.
If I could just forget what happened that night.
There's a lot of the like set pieces that you can see, like the set dressing.
For a second.
Characters look pretty good.
This
Is it
time,
just me, or just cannot feel old enough for a remake? Maybe I'm old. It's PS2, man. It's old. PS2's retro games. And it really seems like they are going back over their March next year. Okay. Still a good while off. Oh, shit. That's going to be fucking amazing. If you've played the Resident Evil Oculus port, that's amazing. But they are, it does look like they're going back through the Resident Evil catalog. Like they've done 2, they've done 3, now they're doing 4. Find it unlikely they'll do 5 and 6. They'll probably skip those. They might do Code Veronica. They're doing a port for Village on VR. Excellent. Because Resident Evil 7's VR mode is fucking terrifying. And there's a pretty great mod for this on PC for VR. So, like, it can be done and it'll go pretty well. Or E1 remake. They've already done a remake of that. Like, I don't think they can do it again. Yes, absolutely. If they can then backport the Resident Evil 7 VR, that would be pretty awesome. This looks like it's full motion controls too. Was he dual wielding? So when is, I guess that's going to come out with the VR. So if they have Resident Evil 4 remake coming out in March next year, the PlayStation VR would have to be out by then. And wouldn't it be Resident Evil 1 remake, remaster remake?
You, of all people, have the audacity to question me?
Far Cry?
You, who emerged from the putrid waters of the bayou.
No, this is Walking Dead. Saints and Sinners 2, whatever it's being called. Like, I'm not a huge Walking Dead fan, and zombies are kind of overdone, IMO, but the gameplay I've seen of the original looked really cool. If a little bit repetitive, but you don't really get the kind of... You don't really get the fatigue of repetition in VR just because you're so ingrained or you're just so present in the game. It just doesn't feel the same. You don't get that you're, oh, I'm shooting the same zombies again. It's like it's very different. Yeah, Saint and Sinners too.
Welcome home, tourist.
Wait, how can you come home if you're a tourist? Surely that would be anywhere but home. Okay, No Man's Sky, which already has a VR. It already has a PSVR OG version, so there's a port for it. That's the thing, is that porting from PSVR to PSVR 2 isn't that simple because the original PSVR was camera tracking, whereas PSVR 2 is eye tracking. So like it's entirely different system. But No Man's Sky is on PC as well, isn't it? So they would probably use PC VR and port that instead. FIFA 98 remake hype. Zagomish Bongaloid. Maybe. Problem is EA have lost that license, so they can't do that remake. They can't do that anymore. They'll have to give that to somebody else. And this is the Horizon game.
Where are you taking me?
So I said several meant 4, right? 4 or more. We're on 4. It sounds like you're not playing as Aloy.
Says Reyes is a good shot.
Yeah, and I'll put arrows through both of us. You're switching with me.
Are you stuck to the boat for the whole game?
We're not gonna make it.
So it's a rail shooter? Or are you stuck to the boat for the whole game? Alright, no.
Blameless Marauder.
Is that necessary?
But why?
What happens if you don't push the branch out of your face? Does it just like slither over your head?
Climb the mountain.
Climbing in VR is really weird. It has a really weird feeling to it. Because your in-game character is moving up, but your body isn't obviously the real body, so it's got a it really fucks with your head. But yeah, bow and arrow stuff in VR feels really good. Ghost hands.
Do that, and you shall be a free.
So you do have disembodied hands, alright. Nobody has forearms in VR.
Your skills and courage.
Because that's too hard to, it's too hard to program where your shoulders should be. It's easier for them to know where your hand is.
You have walked in the shadows, Reyes.
Because they'd have to
To climb.
They'd have to extrapolate back from your hand position to where your shoulder position could possibly be. I think it would just be too... it would just be too weird.
I'm Ben McCaw, narrative director at Gorilla.
What's up,
Hope you
Ben?
enjoyed your first look at Horizon Call of the Mountain.
I've seen it done well in Skyrim.
To PlayStation
Giving people forearms?
We're also happy
I
to
think you had
announce
forearms
that
anyway in Skyrim for
Horizon
first-person
Forbidden
mode, so it probably
including
worked out
New Game
there.
Plus,
But
will
like,
be
yeah,
available
it
to
could be done.
download on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 today.
What was he saying? Shit, I wasn't listening. An update. Okay. Hey, this is first-person shit. First-person shit's not meant to be in this state of play. Wait, there wasn't a respec option? Mega hard difficulty. There wasn't a New Game Plus either? Really? Wow, there was no New Game Plus in that. That's a bit ridiculous.
For details on this free update, please check out PlayStation Blog.
No,
From all of us at Gorilla, thank you.
you can't make
for
me.
continued support.
I haven't paid the original.
Stay tuned for more updates to come.
Alright, I guess that's probably all the VR stuff.
Is coming to PC.
PC games. This is also probably not third person. Not third person, third party.
A few years
Spider-Man.
sacrificing so much and asking for nothing.
Spider-Man for
If you
PC.
want to change the world, you have to be the kind of man who can make the hardest decisions.
Do you really need 2 of those?
I mean, Spider-Man's a good game, and Spider-Man 2 was announced, as well as Wolverine from the same studios, so they're very busy.
You can't just push people around like that.
I'm curious who is doing the port. Is it still Insomniac doing the port?
Glory days.
There's a shit ton of spoilers in this trailer, though. August. Okay.
Did you just leave your clothes on the kitchen floor?
So Nixus are doing the port. That's fine. They're pretty good at doing ports and shit. Hey, it's the cat game! This is the cat with the backpack. Robots are terrified of cats. It would seem. You guys able to hear the purring? It might be too... The audio might be too low for you. So can you change the type of cat? Because I thought it was a black cat in all the trailers. Maybe I'm misremembering. Ah, of course, cat knocking over a bunch of shit. Of course it is. I mean, obviously you were going to play this because, you know, cat game. Why wouldn't you? Stealth cat game. Cats are, of course, you know, the masters of stealth. Why would this even be necessary? Cat combat as well? Is there cat combat? Just smacks the shit out of whatever comes near it. This is not actual gameplay. You can't lie down and go to sleep in the real game. Okay. Trailer? Or not trailer. Date? July. Next month. Cool. You have unlocked Calico. Yep. That'll be fun.
Explore a mysterious cyber city in Stray.
Cat inbox. Accurate. Absolutely.
PlayStation Plus extra members and higher can download Stray at no extra cost when it launches.
Okay. It's coming to their new PlayStation Plus service as well. Cool. Probably not great for the studio. Callisto Protocol, so be ready for horrible, disgusting gore and shit here. Because the trailer has been absolutely vile. This is the spiritual follow-up to Dead Space.
That they call Callisto the Dead Moon. Dead.
They're all dead. There's no life on any of them.
I hadn't fished you out of that wreck. So whatever you're holding on to right there.
There's a lot of Dead Space here, alright.
That's your old life. You gotta let that go. Because your new life is entirely in my hands. I'm just trying to give you a chance at rebirth.
No, none of this necromorph bullshit. This guy has a real mumps issue. Creepy. Ugh. Okay, so they have some horrible monsters. A lot of them are very human-like, though, which isn't great. Like, the whole thing about the necromorph is that they were just not human enough to be, I know, off-putting. Oh, gross. I did see they did an upside-down thing, which was a big, pretty cool set piece from Dead Space 2 this year. Okay, coming out Christmas. Keep an eye out there on the channel, because we'll be playing it, even though I don't want to. Bit of a jump straight to this, yeah. It's it. Sable?
Year 2030.
No,
Sport grips the globe.
no, actually I don't know what this is.
Arena. There will only be the victorious and the dead.
Okay. So, roller derby battle royale thing? Or maybe not, it doesn't look like it's multiplayer. Or not multiplayer focused. I do like the art style, even though you do look a little floaty on some of the terrain. Okay, cool. So there's opportunities for some pretty cool tricks and slow-mo shit here. Wow, that armor was pretty shit.
The world is watching. In
Rollerdrome. Okay, if it doesn't turn out to be some kind of multiplayer arena thing, yes.
Sometimes I wonder if things will ever be normal again.
This is Kingdom Hearts. No, it is not. It is very much not. Now I have a cool arm. Does make jerking off really difficult though. Okay, Soulsy type thing. Maybe not. There's a lot of quick time shit here. Sorry, we're gonna have to swap the audio out of that one. But there's a lot of anime shit happening, let's put it that way. So do you have a party? Motorbike? Do you swap between characters? Ow, that hurt. I got punched with Pride arm. Pride Week. Is it Pride Wrath? Or Gay Wrath? That's what it is. It's Gay Pride Month, then Gay Wrath Month. Eternites. Okay. The gameplay looked kind of Soulsy at the beginning, but then very quickly did not become Soulsy, so I don't know. Early next year.
Action games and dating sims collide in Eternites, coming to PS5 and PS4 next year. Let's check back in with Capcom for a new look at an upcoming heavy hitter.
That's Street Fighter. Yep, that's Street Fighter, all right. Street Fighter 6. I always felt Street Fighter 6 was way too soon after Street Fighter 5. Like, it really needs time to breathe. But whatever, they're going for it.
When you go looking for strength, it's not like a game.
They're also really trying to push this guy as the next protagonist of Street Fighter to replace Ryu, but it's not gonna happen.
If you want to start off on the right foot in this city, hit the streets.
Yeah, it's alright. Gotta swap out that audio too. Hager! Nice. Wait. Maybe it's not Street Fighter. It's not. It's Final Fight. It's Final Fight, actually. No, fuck me. They just made it look like Final Fight. It's still Street Fighter. It seems like Ryu is progressively putting on more clothes as the series goes on. What you guys would probably do better without cardboard boxes on your heads. Just saying. I think he's new. I don't remember seeing him before. Okay, it also looks like it's a lot zoomed in. There's no UI, obviously, so you're not going to know how any of that works, but the camera looks like it's been pulled in a bit more. You can see characters are taking up a lot of vertical space. Alright, so he's the bullshit character, got it. He's Eddie Gordo, basically. Oh! Nice parries. So, all right, the supers look pretty damn good too. It sure looks. So Ryu got older, and Chun-Li got younger. How did that work? Did she sap? She sap health out of him. All right, I think the him walking around is like a hub world stuff. Like you can walk to like a championship, walk over to the multiplayer lobby, walk off to something like that. Because they did a bit of that in the Dragon Ball fighting game as well. I'd say that's what that is. When in 2023? Oh wow, Tunic is coming to PlayStation. Because Tunic was done in partnership with Xbox Live Arcade, so it's a bit surprising that it's coming to PlayStation. But good, because I've really wanted to play it. And it was really like, should I get an Xbox just to play this one game? Probably not. So Tunic is like, old Legend of Zelda, basically. And looks incredible. So when's this coming out? What was the exclusivity window? 6 months. Standard. So September. Cool. forget the name of this now. It has like a one-word name. And the development studio behind this has also been accused of like some pretty bad harassment and abuse and crunch and all that shit as well. I don't know how I feel about this game.
We asked her about traveling alone.
Forget the name of it now though.
What will remain?
Only what she saw, what she captured.
She carries the sounds of the season with her.
But I think the game is mostly meant to be like a big open map, and you just cycle around the place, just interacting with a bunch of different items and things. It's like journaling, like historing or anthropology or something like that. Very much a very chill game is what it's meant to be.
The world was telling her its secrets. I think she even figured out what will happen to us.
What companies have good reps anymore even? Capcom. Capcom have like implemented their work from home thing. They've implemented a 4-day week. They've hugely boosted the pay for all of their employees. So they're doing pretty good. Everyone else though shit. Everyone else is shit. Devolver Digital are pretty good to work with too, I've heard. Season, that's what it was called. Okay, so they are going to show something about 16. Because I thought they would have waited to combine this with Final Fantasy VII news as well. Okay, is this a stopgap? I think this might be stay tuned for more things. A diamond in the rough, Capcom. they weren't always a diamond. Okay, no, he does have something. Okay, good. I thought it was gonna be here's me saying sorry we don't have more. Okay, Final Fantasy 16 is going to be looking interesting because it's the same combat designer who did Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5's combat is very, very good.
What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes.
It's interesting because that's the Garuda design from Final Fantasy 14. There's always a war. You can't have lots and lots of combat if there isn't lots of war.
Delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Get in there. Get in there. Show me some stingers. Show me some aerial attacks. There we go. Aerial combat. Love it. Give me some Devil May Cry shit. Alright, there's a stagger system. That's a lot of floating numbers. I do hope you can... Like, I don't want to turn them off, but that was a lot of them there. Okay. Katobla Pass enemy. Will you actually be out in the war fighting people, or is this just cutscenes? That's a big guy, holy shit. Alright, Titan. It's interesting design for Shiva. Bahamut, probably. Odin. Ifrit. Okay, like that's Garuda? It's weird that they have what's almost like a fighting game HUD for those enemies. No, that's Garuda, so I don't know who that other vulture looking one was.
There will be losses, it is true.
Now, that's a hell of a fight though, Odin and Bahamut.
Every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns.
So they have the summons, the dominants going up against like fighting each other. Who was the first one? Phoenix? That must have been who it was then. So the summons, the dominants as they're calling this, are very, very in focus for the story. which is very Final Fantasy 14.
Awaken, if free.
Next year, yeah. Wow, that's still earlier than I would expect, to be honest. But yeah, still hype. That's it.
And that's a wrap.
We're done. Okay.
Don't forget to visit PlayStation blog to learn even more about today's announcements.
Don't tell me what to
See you
do.
next time.
So that was State of Play, June 2022. So some interesting stuff. So can we go back? Let's go back to the start and go through it again. Oh, let's not go by that's too far. Skip ahead. Here. Right, Resi 4. Looking good shit. They finally made the summons in Final Fantasy the main character. It looks like it pretty much. So, Resi 4, pretty huge. Not seeing a lot of gameplay, but I don't imagine it won't play pretty much like Resi 2, Resi 3 remake. But seeing a lot of the kind of set pieces, the different areas that are in the original, I know all these places from playing Resident Evil 4. That's the starting house. You know, this is him turning around the corner to find the first guy, the main village with the pyre in the center of it. This is probably either the part where Luis gets killed or the cabin. I wonder if the water room will be equally as shit as it was in the original game. Okay. So yeah, cool Resi 4 stuff.
It has to.
I missed that shot, so that's the approach to the village. Going to VR2.
Capcom for kicking it off with Resident Evil 4.
The guy Leon murders, yeah. I guess. No, self-defense. He attacked him. That's self-defense, the Secret Service agent said, with nobody around to correct him. Then some ports and some patches. So Resi 8 getting a VR patch will be interesting. Again, this is quite loud for me, at least. It might be that loud for you guys, but it's pretty loud for me, so I'm going to drop that down a bit. Anyway. So Resi 8 patch, pretty cool. Leon broke into his house and wouldn't leave. This castle doctrine. You're in my house, so I can do whatever I want to you. Walking Dead game, again. It's good to see the technology, basically, but I don't have too much interest in The Walking Dead all that much. No Man's Sky is another game that I keep thinking I want to get back into until I remember how boring it is. But I haven't checked in since they've done all of those updates. There'll be a shit ton of updates to that game. I haven't gone near any of it, so that would be interesting. Like, there's proper combat now. There's mechs. There's pets and stuff. You can actually become like a pirate and hunt down other players and stuff like that. Not that I would care about that end of thing, but it's pretty cool. Horizon, whatever, it'll be a first-party VR showcase kind of thing, so yes, we'll give it a shot, but I'm not super into the Horizon universe. Skip. Oh, that's him talking his head off. Skip. Spider-Man on PC, sure, good. The cat game, right, that's out soon enough. Yes, we'll be playing it on the channel. So, more about that. More cat stuff, I guess, I don't know. It just seems like... It feels like an old school platformer to me, but just dressed up to look really, really nice. But that's kind of what it looks like to me. Like a Crash Bandicoot, but you're a cat, and it's not photorealistic exactly, but you know, it's going for really high level stuff. High fidelity stuff, rather. That was Stray. Then Callisto Protocol, more Dead Space. What I really want to see is, will the Dead Space... I hesitate to say trilogy because I don't want to play the third one, and I don't want to make anyone aware that there was a third one because it's very, very bad. But if they're going to be part of the PlayStation service and how well that will actually work, you know, how well the streaming will hold up, and I would really rather they just remastered it. Callisto Protocol. Roller Drome looks interesting. I'm more concerned about, is it an arena shooter thing with other players, or is it a single player type thing? that's kind of what I'm more interested to see on that. Then the guy with the hand that I have to swap off the audio for. Again, I kind of need to see more of what this game is, because it does look like it's like one-on-one Soulsy style combat, but then there's a bunch of other shit happening in the background. Whether or not you have party members, do you swap out characters? Do you take characters into the level just one at a time? You know, how does that work out? Or is it more like a traditional JRPG? Street Fighter, I'm not into. That's not true. I am into fighting games. I'm just bad at them, and I don't like playing online. So I need other people to play them with me, and that doesn't happen very often. So I've been very much out of the fighting game loop for a very long time now. Street Fighter, Tunic, yeah, be very much looking forward to play that. We'll probably play that on the channel as well. Season, I don't know how to feel about, because I know the circumstances the game is made in, but then, you know, if the game doesn't do well, then that's all for nothing, and I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. I haven't made up my mind on it yet. And Final Fantasy 16, which looks pretty hype. So that was a pretty good state of play. Like, normally the states of play are pretty disappointing. They did show off a lot of PSVR 2 stuff, but not a whole lot of news on the hardware. Like, when is that out? There was no news on when the Resident Evil 8 patch for VR is out, which would have given you probably a better indication of when the actual hardware is coming out. The Resident Evil 4 remake has VR 2 support, and that's coming out in March, but that could easily be something that's, you know, patched in afterwards. Or is it a, you know, day one kind of thing? Is it coming out with the VR headset? So I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. I will digest a bit more of this, and we'll probably have a bit more to talk about on Sunday for the weekly news recap. But I'm gonna head off because we've had a look through that. Chip shortages, yeah, for the PSVR 2. That's kind of what's held it back, and they've also still been in negotiations with the people who do the lenses and stuff. So that we don't know if that has been narrowed down yet, or if that's been, you know, sorted. Have they come to a final agreement on negotiations? We don't know, basically. But if it's gonna be ready in time for Resident Evil 4, then it would have to be early next year, possibly Christmas this year. Oh no, we don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna head off. No stream tomorrow. Saturday we'll continue Xenoblade Chronicles, and Sunday weekly news recap. We'll talk a bit more about this and some other stuff that's been announced during the week. Anyway, I'm gonna head off. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. Thanks for coming out, Shmongoloid and Doom Training, and anyone who was lurking in the background. Appreciate it. Hopefully see some of you on Saturday. Bye-bye.